What up, guys? So, we ended last week with putting the bed on the truck. So it's just sitting on there and I've just got it clamped. But now, as you can see, she's back up in the air. I'm going to mark all the holes to attach the fender to the bed itself. It's all been shifted over, right? So there's some rust damage in here. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out the rusty areas behind this wheel. It won't interfere with my floor on the inside or my bracing. So basically, I'm just taking it out, right? Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to mark the holes up in here and then drill new holes and then mount this fender, not permanently, but at least mount it up in here, right? Because this whole thing has to kind of, well, there's like a little bracket right here. So I got to cut that off, but this has all got to kind of come in a little bit like that. But when it was sitting in the trailer, it kind of smooshed it all up. So it doesn't sit even, it's more like out a little bit. So I just got to kind of bring it in. This bottom half, I'm having a feeling probably about this much, about 3 inches or so. Yeah, about 3 inches is going to get cut off. And that's fine because it's got all the damage is right in that area. So it's perfect. So let me grab my marker. I'll mark these holes. I'll drill them. And then we'll get this side mounted. All right, guys, so we've got the two, this one and this one mounted up. So the front here still is not mounted up, but that's okay. I just have to build brackets. Kind of low on material as far as angles and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, I got to build a new ledge for the wood to sit on. And of course, it's going to have beams across like that. But so I was looking around. What do I got? What do I got? So I have some of this super strut. So it's 9 feet, but I count back eight circles, and it puts me right where I want to be, just before the pocket. So I can add one more across the back there, and then I'll probably add another one. I'm thinking every like 3 feet, I'm going to put one in the front, put one in the back, and then probably maybe 2 more right there. So we'll cut it in half, and then we'll cut that in half, and that'll give me my attachments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these down. Now, these pieces right here and here, I think the bed sides aren't too straight. So when you lay this flat piece against here, the bed kind of does this, right? Okay. So there's a couple spots here that's actually touching. So through here is touching. I can get that to touch with that back there. I can suck it in. I can probably bring this in with a pair of jaws. So I'm probably going to just weld the piece to the bed, right? That's how the original was, way down here. I'm basically getting this all set up. So everything below this point, I'm probably going to cut off, maybe I won't, but probably what I will do is clean it all up, cut out all the bad stuff, because there's quite a bit of bad stuff going on here. You know, like I can just kind of chop it off like that. And then clean these all up. And then I'm going to just coat the whole bottom from here down. And then from up here in the front, there'll be a piece that runs just underneath this. It's like a reinforcement. So I'll probably cut the bottom 2 inches off this bottom piece, and that'll take care of all that crappy rust back there. Yeah, I think that's the way to go with this bed right here. So I'm going to trim these down. I'm going to clean up little areas, see if I can get it to, well, I'll probably weld it right here real quick, just to kind of attach it to it there and over there. So just know that that's what I'm going to do. Okay, guys, so let's get into this part of it. So I'm going to tell you why I'm using this strut stuff. See all those holes? So when you put the wood in, I can drill it where those holes are. And then that'll actually give me the mounting point for the wood down the side, right? And then when I do that strut across, that'll give me points for mounting the boards across this way as well. Just kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, which one was it? Well, actually both of them. The 3100, which I built the bed for on that one, I just used angle, but this is going to be a better idea, I feel. So I'm just going to kind of weld that down the side, bring it in, pull it in, weld it, get it as straight as I can to bring this all in. Level, it's completely level. I check that. So I don't know, let's give her a whirl, guys. I think this is going to be awesome. Yeah, completely level. All right, we'll let that cool down a bit. So up a lot of spots, I probably had a 1/4 inch gap. I have no problems filling a gap. It's just when you first start off, you just have to bridge it, and then you can just go and it'll fill it right up. So yeah. Yepper. So probably, well, I will have to clean up all those welds so it's more flush. So when the boards sit on, it won't hit the weld, right? But yeah. So I know we're even across here because I measured it this way, right there. Yep, right in the center of the bubble. And it doesn't really matter. Too late now, right? Since I welded these things. And this, yep, right in the center. So we're good. We're still even across there, and I know we're straight down there. So let that cool down, like I was saying. But I don't have any more of these. But these will go like across. So that'll go like there, right there, and then there'll probably be another one in the middle right there, and then another one up there in the front. So we'll be back. All right, guys, so they're all welded in. I cleaned all the welds up so they're completely flat across. So what I have to do is first thing in the morning, I'm going to have to run down and get 2 more 10-foot sticks of this so I can add. I already marked it, so I'll be putting one here and then one at 26 inches, one at 52, another one at 26 or 26 from this side, and then one in the front. Then that'll complete my wood bed grid, right? And like I said, since it's got the holes in it, I can just drill up and then I can set the bolt down and then put the nut on the back and I'll hold all the wood in. That's kind of what I'm doing with this one. I like the whole idea of it all. All I have to do is just drill through wood versus drill through wood and metal, if that makes sense. Yep. So what we'll do is we'll get back on this in the morning. Today it didn't rain and there was no rain in the forecast here, which is kind of rare this time of year in Florida. So me and wifey actually tag teamed the entire lawn. So that took about a half a day. So I only spent a couple hours out here today to do this, just to get a game plan on it. But yeah, so we will catch you in the morning. Good morning, guys. So I went down and I got 2 10-foot sticks of the super strut stuff. Just so everyone knows, this is 14 gauge. It's galvanized. So if you do weld this, you have to clean the spots because that stuff, the galvanized coating, can kind of make you sick if you breathe it. That's why, cleaned all the areas up. But here it is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start measuring and then I'm going to start cutting these down to the exact lengths because these are 10-foot sticks. The bed of my truck is only 5. So I took my cutoff wheel, my portable one, to Home Depot when I got those and I just cut them in half so they wouldn't be sticking out way out there. So I'm going to have 4 of them. So I'm just going to start measuring, lay them all out, weld them in, and then you'll get a better idea of how these will work really cool. I guess basically, I don't. Sometimes you can go outside of like your metal suppliers and use things that maybe you never thought about using before. So that's kind of why I'm using strut on this on this bed, whereas before I used to use angle. The angle is cool and all, but once if you ever put angle in and you go to try to drill for the 1/4 inch bolts that come through for your bedwood, sometimes it's difficult to get the drill in because it's so close to the side. So sometimes you go in at an angle and it's all kind of ugly. That's the reason why I'm giving this a whirl this time around, because again, like I've been stating, it's already got the holes for it, so it's real easy to just drill holes through wood than it is. You can mark it from the bottom and then drill, and they're spaced out pretty good, so it's not like I have a feeling that you won't hit an area where there's no hole, and they're super strong. So let me start measuring. Well, there they are, except this one. I miscalculated. Ah, I wish they would sell this in 4-foot lengths instead of 10. It's either 2-foot or 10-foot. But anyway, so I have to get another one to go right there. Yeah, but what I'll do is I'll just clean up these welds, meaning make them flush. But these are going to be plenty strong for sure. Like I said, they're 14 gauge bent. Got the holes. I don't know. Just saying. I guess what I'm saying, it ain't stupid if it works, right? Okay. So let me just clean up these welds here real quick, just to flatten them out. I mean, it's not the amount of weld that I put in them. You know, I filled the little trench deal, or the little gap in between. It probably won't affect it at all, because it's pretty flat. And then I welded this one to the front panel in 2 spots, over there and over there. You saw me, I pushed the the bed rail or the bed front is kind of curved. Must be something came in and went bam. So I just brought it back. So now instead of 3/4 of an inch, I probably have about a full inch. And that's okay. All right. So let me clean these up and then we'll be right back. Well, there's the frame for the bedwood. So this is the only one that's probably going to be an issue to drill because there's only so much room right here. But I'll figure that out. I think I can get my angle drilled in there to drill up. But anyway, this obviously isn't the wood I'm going to use, but I'll just show you real quick. So it'll be like that. You see? And then everywhere where there's a hole, I can just put a fastener through it. Yep. I think that's awesome. All right. So this is galvanized steel. Obviously, I cleaned off the areas that to weld because galvanized steel is not healthy to weld with the galvanized coating on it. So what I want to do is I'm probably just going to throw a little something on here, well, especially right where the welds were, where the metal is showing, or the metal is exposed from the galvanized plating, because I don't want, well, I'm worried about rust. No, I'm kidding. But might as well do it while it's still fresh and not rusted up, right? Because eventually this bed's going to come back off, so I can clean up the whole bottom part of it. What I'll probably do on that aspect is I'll back this out, spin it around, and back it back in, and then use the lift to lift off the bed, and then pull the truck out, leave it up on the lift, clean all that, and then go from there. So you kind of get my idea here of what I'm doing with this. And this is just from my experience, meaning using angle iron. Then I used like a 90 strut stuff with the holes. It just didn't seem that strong. I mean, it works, but you know, you get enough fasteners in it, it'll work. But overall, I think this is going to be perfect. It's strong. It's 14 gauge. Got the bends in it. So, and all the holes. I can't iterate enough how much this is way better than using angle or anything like that because of that. Now, with this bed, I am not going to be tilting it. It's not going to raise up and down. I don't need it to do that. So it's just going to be a flat bed. I haven't even decided if I'm going to run the strips. They sell strips that would like go in between the bedwood. I did it, you know, if you look back at the GMC or the 3100 build, you'll see that, you know, those you can purchase the strips without the holes or with the holes, just depending on how you want them. I don't remember how much they are. I mean, last ones I got weren't stainless steel, they were just steel, but I don't remember. But I don't think, at this point, I don't think I'm going to use those. Now, as far as the wood goes, I don't know. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to use like real wood on here, or if I'm going to use uh, the composite decking boards, because they do come in different colors. So, you know, maybe like the charcoal or black or something like that would look good in here. I want something that's going to last, right? And I'm not saying that the wood won't last. I'm just saying that the wood has a tendency of bowing and bending. I mean, no matter how you put those grains in, you know, like when you look at the side, you know, the grains either go this way or this way. And you're, for any kind of decking or anything, you should always put the grain down. So as over time, it'll flatten out. If you put it this way, it could lift up. But I'm thinking it's going to be composite material, I think. So considering from here to here is like 50 and an eighth, so about 50 inches across, which is the normal bed width. You have a variety of ways you can do this. You can do 10 5-inch boards. I'm not sure if they sell 10-inch in decking, or 5 of those, or 10 of the 5-inch. But either way, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So that's about all I'm going to be doing with the bed per se, without having to take it all off and get into the whole bottom half of it, which I don't really want to do right now. I'll be honest. Basically, I wanted to get this in to kind of, one, to stiffen it up even more side to side, right? But the other thing is for like the gas lid, the gas filler neck. So I know I don't want the filler neck in the floor. I don't want to have to do one of these kind of deals. So I'm not sure if I'm just going to kind of bring it out right here. I don't think I have enough room for this. If I was a smart person, I probably should have moved the whole tank over closer that way to give me a more, well, not really. I've only got a 1/2 inch on this side from the shackle. So yeah, that's about it. But so I got to figure out how I'm going to bring this just under the floor. If I can, I'm not sure. So many unknowns going on right now. But the bed wood frame is in, and I hope this gives you guys a different alternative of doing any kind of truck bed, right? Yeah. These these guys right here are $33 a piece, a 10-foot length. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had 2 of the 10-foot lengths. So I had to buy 3 more of the 10-foot lengths. And like I said, I just when I went to Home Depot, I just cut them to 60 inches. And then when I got them home, I trued them up to the size I need, which all these were 46 and a half. All the ones that are in between, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 were 46 and a half. And then this one was 50 and an eighth. So that's it. So I got some stuff in for the interior, meaning I got the foam. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to probably cut this up, you know, like the bed, finishing up the bed frame there. And then I'm going to show you the seat cushions that I came up with. So it's going to kind of like be a split. So it's going to be seat stuff and then bed stuff. Why not, right? We'll combine these because the major part of getting the bed, ripping it apart and setting it down was on last week's video. So now we're just kind of buttoning up a few things. Sounds good. So I'm going to put the welder away because I do not need it anymore. And we'll be right back. All right, guys. So with the seats, I ordered some 3-inch high density foam for interior stuff. Let me grab a, well, actually, I'll just show you. So that's the foam. So what I did was I just traced it out, and I don't have like like a carving knife or anything like that. I just use this and just kind of cut it around. I've got the basic shape of what I want. So on the back side, you'll see right here, actually, let me clean that off. So right here, I went and I got I went and I got 4-inch heavy duty hinges. So these have ball bearings in them. So I traced it out right there. So this will put, actually let me bring you in here. So this is, I traced it out over there. So these are where my holes are going to be. So actually it was like that. There we go. Yeah, like that. So these little guys right here, I just went on Amazon and I bought these. So these little guys are 1/4 20s, but they're basically like a wood riv nut or a wood insert. It does come with the drill bit and this guy right here, so you can run them in, right? Pretty inexpensive for what they are. I only needed like 8, but with the pack, I think this was like 12 bucks or whatever. And these ones are, they're just regular steel, doesn't matter. So what we'll do is we'll drill the hole. So I'm just going to drill the hole. And then you just load these in. I guess you could use like some wood glue or something to hold it in place, but I don't see these getting a lot of action. It just holds it in there in case I want to get to anything underneath, right? And then the hinge is pretty long, so I actually have to weld the hinge onto the seat frame. But it just unbolts from here. So I guess I'm not done with the welder yet. I gotta weld that hinge on. And then you just sink them in, just like that. And I got more for anything I need to do with wood. So let me clean up the seat rail. So here we are, cleaned up. There we go. So eventually, once I get this welded, I'll be cutting this across here and then welding it in the back. But this just gets me on here right now. So now, look at that. See that? Right in there. Yipper, I like it. And then from the back side, be careful, that's hot. And there we go. So on this side, I've already done it. So as you can see, right there are my wood rib nuts. And then there's the bracket or the hinge. So with the this material is three inches. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with 3 inches in the back too. I mean, it probably look pretty good and sit pretty comfortable. This piece is 24 inches wide by 72 inches long. And like I said, I mean, you can't really tell when you go like that. You have to take your hands and squish it together, right? That tells you the firmness of it. So this is I think this is either, so I'll look, but I think it's sold as a medium density instead of a high density. I don't want to feel like I'm sitting on a brick, right? So what I'll do is I'll finish shaping. This one's already shaped. I'll show you how I do that real quick over there, but you can see it's got rounded edges here and it's all nice there. I almost thought about putting like a little, you know, like a little bolster or something, maybe on this side. You know, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna wrap it just as it is to see how it looks. So let me show you how I shape this stuff. And it's just with my little mini die grinder. It gets all over the place. This, I can't sand this like by hand with 80 grit. It just doesn't work. I have to be real careful with the little die grinder. So let's show you. All right, guys. So all I did up to this point was I took the foam, I set it on top, I traced the outline, I took it off, and I used my little razor knife and I just trimmed it all the way down. Then you take, actually, this is 36 grit, hold on. So this right here is 60 grit. So and all you do, now this will get all over the place. You just kind of, you just shape it. Now this isn't a fast process because you can get going and it'll just be, it can be a mess, is what I'm trying to say. And if this gets caught in one area, it'll gouge the heck out of it. So there's that, and then I just kind of, so we are shaped. We have a little bit of a round edge here, right through there in the front. I kept it as even as I possibly can. Again, I'm not an interior guy at all, but I'm learning this while I'm showing you. And I think that's a pretty good idea. So what we'll do is we'll set this in there. We'll see how it looks. And then go from there. Yeah. I'm gonna go sit in the other side. So this right here is the piece that I have left. I'm gonna lay it across the back just to see how it feels, right? So let's bring you in here and then we'll see how it goes. Okay. All right. So I like the bottom. The bottom feels good. The back, The back I may go with 2" instead of 3. I mean, I only bought one piece. I knew I was definitely going to go with 3" on the bottom. But the back, for some reason, I'm thinking it's going to be too much. I mean, it's stiff. I mean, I'm not saying it's not comfortable, but it just feels, it feels like I'm too much like this, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with 2" in the back. Yeah, see how much that, yeah, 2". 2" for the win in the back, 3" on the bottom. Cool. So now I'm going to actually try to upholster one of them. Well, you know, I did the best I could. I'm being budget friendly. So let me put this up in here real quick, and then I'll show you how it looks. I don't know if I have enough material to do the other cushion, but we'll find out. You know what? I like it. Let me show you. So there we go. All right, maybe that's not too professional looking, but you know what? On a budget, that works out great. And now that I put the material on it, it added a little bit of security, like it doesn't just kind of flop around. I like it. And then you just see that? It's pretty hard to get up off like that. And then I can get to anything underneath. And then you figure the 2" of foam. So I think the back piece, I'm gonna kind of come down, right? So it'll be level with this, so I can pull this up and leave this in. At least that's what I think. But yeah, right there, that's the shadow of the steering wheel right there. But I think, you know, for what it is, I'm okay with that. Let me see if I have, enough material to do the other side. looks pretty good. And there we go. So I'm going to do this center this piece right here in the same material. I'm going to do that when I do this because this requires me to take all this apart to get the bolts out, because this is attached to this and this is attached to my seat frame. But just lift it up, and I got full access to the battery back there. That's awesome. And there we go. Not too shabby. And there it is with the door shut. So it all matches. I mean, that's going to be awesome. Like I said, on the back piece here, I'm going to use 2-inch instead of the 3-inch, just so I can sit back farther. And I'll probably kind of trim it so it curves down in, right? But all day long. Alrighty, guys, I think that's going to wrap up this weekend. You can see I put a little bit of that primer stuff down just to kind of protect where I welded it. But we got the bed wood, or the wood bed frame in, and we got the seat cushions on the bottom all taken care of. So I still have to get the 2-inch foam for the back. I think I'm going to go with the 2-inch foam. I have to get more material, but I don't think I'm going to record that because I've done enough for you guys get the idea of how I'm doing the whole upholstering thing with the staple gun or whatever. But yeah, so I am not exactly sure what we're going to get up to next. It just depends. I know the driver's side rear fender, right where 3 of the bolts have to go through, they're totally missing, right? Actually, let me show you real quick. So as you can see right here, right there, down there, a little bit right there, and that whole section right there all needs to be basically rebuilt. So I can attach this fender on that side. That's why I haven't done it yet. But anyway, so we'll probably get into that next time around. We'll get that all repaired. We'll get that on. I'll see if I can finish making my drop panels down to be even with the bottom of that filler panel underneath the door, to try to kind of like straighten all that out before I pull the bed off and clean up the bottom half, cut out all the old rusty metal along there and through down there through the sides. But I want to get that all done while it's mounted down, and then we'll put it on the lift and lift the bed off and fix all up underneath. So maybe we'll get into that next time. I think that would be great. Get that all buttoned up and call that one day a day. So that's going to wrap this one up. Again, thanks guys for coming out here and taking a peek at what I got going on. And hey, go out and build something cool, guys. One weekend at a time. Catch you on the next one. Bye.